Hello and welcome to Bajirao IAS Academy interview guidance program. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the free movement regime in India Myanmar border. So therefore in this context we will understand what does the free movement regime actually mean and why the government of India has been planning to cancel the free movement regime between India and Myanmar. Now why it is in news in recent times. So recently the central government has decided to start an advanced smart fencing system. So this topic is very important for your interview and even for gender studies paper 3. Okay, so this is with respect to India Myanmar border, where the government of India had decided to start an advanced smart fencing system for the entire India-Myanmar border. So if you understand, India and Myanmar had been sharing borders with states like Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. So this is with respect to ending the free movement regime between India and Myanmar. Okay, so now in this context we have to understand what is free movement regime. So free movement regime is a mutual pact. Okay, so this is a mutual pact between India and Myanmar. So this allows the tribals who are living on the both sides of the border, India and Myanmar side of the border, on either side to travel up to 16 kilometers inside inside the other without any visa. So they don't require any visa if they wanted to travel any side of the border between India and Myanmar. So for the tribals, so they don't require travel up to 16 kilometers. So this is particularly with respect to these tribal people having kinship or close relations with each other, a familial relationship with each other. Now if you understand some facts with respect to India Myanmar border, India and Myanmar have been sharing 1643 kilometers of land border. Okay, so this has been passing through Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and then Mizoram. Okay, so this is Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. Now the government will implement the smart fencing system across the India-Myanmar border, so that will curb the free movement regime. So when this free movement regime was actually initiated, so this was initiated in the year 1970s. So it was again revised in the year 1916 under the current NDA government. So what is the aim of this free movement regime? So the aim of the free movement regime is to promote or to facilitate the people-to-people ties between the countries India and Myanmar, because the residents who are living in the either side of the border between India and Myanmar, so they enjoy strong ethnic familial relations on both sides of the border. So because of this reason the free movement regime was actually allowed between India and Myanmar. Now what is the eligibility of the free movement regime? So the person should be either a citizen of India or the citizen of Myanmar. So they should produce the border pass while crossing the border, and this border pass is actually valid for a year. So when they produce the border pass and pass the border or cross the border, so they can stay up to 2 weeks per one visit. So since they have strong ethnic and familial relations, so the border passes will be issued for the people who intended to cross border between India and Myanmar. So however in this context it is not free from challenges. It has been facing a lot of challenges. So the first and foremost challenge is that now Myanmar is under the military coup. Okay, so military junta is ruling Myanmar. So military coup took place in the year 2021 and this has promoted the influx of undocumented migrants into the Indian side. If you understand, Northeast is a volatile region. Northeast is a volatile region and it has been facing influx of migrants from different other countries, primarily from Bangladesh. Now if you look at the recent Manipur issue, the Manipur ethnic conflict, so this can also be assumed to a major extent to the illegal immigration into Manipur. So therefore it has led to the influx of undocumented migrants, and those migrants took shelter in Mizoram and they also entered Manipur. Okay, so the migrants who belong to Kuki, Chin, Jo ethnic group, so they share strong ethnic ties with the communities who are living in Mizoram and Manipur. Okay, so these were the challenges of the free movement regime across India-Myanmar border. Now, in this context, the center has decided to end this free movement regime in order to prevent the immigration of illegal, immigrants into Indian side. So, fencing across the entire border will be completed in the next 4.5 years, and it necessitates a visa requirements. So whoever intended to cross this border, they must produce a visa to cross either side of the Indian border. Okay, so the center has decided to end this free movement regime, and the smart fencing will be completed by 4.5 years. Okay, now what is the significance of ending this free movement regime by the government of India? Now this is particularly to stop the misuse of the free movement regime. Now if you understand this, Myanmar is very close to the golden triangle. So this is one of the largest drug producing region. So therefore this free movement regime is very often used for trafficking drugs. Okay, so therefore it is primarily to prevent misuse of free movement regime, and even insurgent groups very often taking shelter across the Indo-Myanmar border. So they're conducting attacks on Indian side, and they are hiding on the other side of the Myanmar border. So this will also prevent the misuse by these insurgent groups. By the FMR is also being misused by these insurgent groups. So they are actually carrying out attacks on Indian side, and they just flee towards Myanmar, and it will also put brake on influx of illegal immigrants, drug and gold smuggling, and even human trafficking as well. Okay, so since it has a lot of benefits, and it will also prevent the ethnic conflicts in a volatile northeast region. So because of all these benefits, the government has decided to end the free movement regime, and also decided to smart fence the entire India-Myanmar border. Okay, so that's all in this lecture as well, and thank you so much. And if you really like our work, please give a like to our video, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have any doubts regarding this topic, so please comment those doubts in the comment section. Thank you.